Hello and welcome back to Metal Straws. Today we're covering r/casual conversations. Let's dive right in. Am I the only one that starts to write an answer for a post and then erases it because it's too much work? Sometimes I see an interesting post and I think to myself, well, I can contribute to this conversation. Then I'll start typing my answer and just decide it's too much work. Erase everything and keep lurking. Maybe it's because English isn't my native language and it's harder for me to explain my opinion on more difficult or controversial topics. Or maybe I'm overthinking and judging my answer as not good/interesting enough. I don't really know. Do you ever do it as well? P.S. I see the irony. You people that are like me will just erase the answer halfway there. As I start putting work into how I dress, I realize why people have a lot of shoes. Up until now, I didn't really put effort into how I dressed. I wore 2 colors and usually had 1 pair of shoes at one time. I always thought it was silly that people had more. Now that I've started buying clothes with diverse colors and styles and actually putting outfits together, I realize why they do. You're not going to have a whole outfit with complementary colors and textures and not have shoes to go with it. Just doesn't make sense. And the more good outfits you have, the more shoes you need. Now I kind of feel silly for having looked down on people who put effort in. Can we please normalize not texting people 24/7? I can't tell you how annoying it is when someone texts me complaining how I haven't replied. Don't get me wrong, I always reply when it's like an important question or when trying to make plans. But texting all day is exhausting and traps me into staying in my phone when I so badly want to get away from it. I just wish people didn't mix up minimal replies with hating them or something. Also, this is only in regards to friendships. Relationships are a different ballpark, but please stop making your friends feel like terrible people for not replying to you. Thank you. Dear America, stop putting laugh tracks in your shows. It's literally in every single one of your shows that I've ever seen. It's worn out and doesn't add anything. If a character says something funny, the audience should recognize this and laugh themselves, not be told when to laugh by some basic laugh track. I can't think of a single UK show that has a laugh track, and they're all great shows. Take Little Britain. It doesn't need them, but the US version has them. It's just pointless. Sincerely, someone from the UK. Santa might not be real, plausible, and festive. It seems like many people might be in on the secret. They pretend Santa is real, or maybe they don't know the truth. There is no evidence, but everyone just says seeing is not believing, and this might be a psychological tactic used to trick us. The likelihood of Santa giving away an endless supply of presents seems unrealistic. There's no solid explanation given for why some children get better gifts than others, and it seems like all the poor kids are on the naughty list. Why don't they get good toys? No one has ever caught him on tape, even with all the phones in the world. My security cameras went off online for about an hour and presents were already delivered before they turned back on. Another major piece of evidence I have is that Santa stopped coming after I moved out of my parents' house. What does this mean? Was I put on the naughty list for leaving my parents, or could this mean something else? And she was absolutely terrible, one of the worst I've ever heard. But she was singing at the top of her lungs, and I loved every second of it. She'd already told me she never sings in front of people, so I thought it was amazing that she felt so comfortable. I knowingly had people on my Hulu account who I didn't recognize. I was too lazy to fix it only because all they did was watch stuff I'd never watched. There were 4 different unknown devices using my account. Then 2 days ago, a 5th one showed up and changed my email, password, and account settings to add on everything you can add on. My next charge was supposed to be $50 or more a month, and I had the $11.99 package. I caught it and fixed everything. So good going, 5th guy. You ruined free Hulu with no ads for 4 other people because you got greedy. And shout out to the hackers of my account who didn't change anything of mine for a few months. Just because you're a bad guy doesn't mean you have to be a bad guy. To the guy who was watching Daria on it, sorry you couldn't finish. I saw how far you were getting the entire time. To the guy who had the device Andy's iPhone, maybe change the name of your device because I think I know what your first name is. But anyway, you're a cool guy. To the 5th guy, you're a moron. You got too greedy, too quick. You should have just used me to watch Hulu without the live TV thing. I would have had no issues with it. To Hulu, please add a 2-factor authentication option to accounts. Thanks. Last month, I got my mom a Reddit account and set her up with only the nice subreddits. After a month of lurking, she made her first comment today. She was so nervous and excited to make her comment. As soon as she pressed enter, she stood up and said, "I did it! I said something to the internet." Small pause. "Oh my goodness, someone liked it? It has an orange 1. Someone liked my comment." I start smiling and enjoy her excitement. I don't tell her. She's too innocent and lovely to ruin it. Later in the evening, she told me there are 5 upvotes now. You've made someone very happy today, internet strangers. She is very happy. I ducked into our local convenience store yesterday to buy a gallon of milk. I used to regularly buy cigarettes there, so all the clerks knew me. I put the milk on the counter. As the clerk was walking up to scan it, he grabbed a pack of my brand. I was proud to wave him off and tell him I quit smoking 3 months ago. He smiled at me and said, "Good for you." Thanks for the affirmation. Stop right there. This is a posture checkpoint. Fix posture now if needed. Bad posture can lead to, but is not limited to, back pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, rounded shoulders, and headaches. Don't be another statistic. The pizza place I order from has the rudest employees, and I love it. Every time I call, it's what I assume: an older man, a younger man, and a young woman. And they don't go through any of the stupid pleasantries I hate. My favorite by far is the older man. I call, he picks up and goes, "Yeah, what do you want?" So I tell him my address and hangs up. 30 minutes later, my pizza's here. Never had a problem. I love that. I give them good reviews and I love their pizza. Makes me wonder why we bother with all the pointless formalities we all hate. And that brings us to the end of r/casual conversations. If you enjoyed watching it, give it a thumbs up. If there's another subreddit you'd like me to do, let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.